Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. We last time, after finishing up our fight with Ketheric, we came back to the surface and have started chatting with people because a lot has happened in that time we were down below the tower. So now we're going to take our time to go around and talk to everyone and see what, see what's all going on. Let's start with Shadowheart first before we talk to them, because that will probably open up even more new dialogue with Shadowheart.
The shadows are losing their grip on these lands. Shah can indeed be thwarted. Comforting to know. You wanted something?
So, you're comforted that Shar can be thwarted. So are you actually coming around to not being a Shar worshipper? Because recently, everything she's been saying is, oh no, what have I done? More or less. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with this one. I'm here if you need me.
Thank you. I think any attempts at comforting me might be in vain just now. But you're sweet to keep me in your thoughts.
There's some matters I wanted to discuss.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It might be best kept until later. I'd be a poor counsel and worse company just now.
Okay. So, she's not wanting to talk. Probably until after we've had our conversations with the two of them. So let's start there. Isabel and Aelin.
Very well.
What's
There
the story?
you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Come closer.
I feel fairly close, but alright. What is it? Or step closer? I'm gonna ask what is it before I step closer. I'm not gonna be ready to defend myself. That seems crazy. What is it?
Feel my voice rattle your bones as I proclaim our victory. Moon Maiden Selûne, hear me. Ketheric Thorm, traitor, apostle of Merkel, is dead at last. My mate, Most High. Darling Isabel is safe and well. Safe and well and returned to my embrace. Blessings upon the slayer of the Wicked One.
Couldn't have done it without you. I've taken gold over a prayer. Where's the silver light? The moon magic. Fair question. If she's actually blessing on me, doing some sort of blessing towards me, usually there's a visible effect. But I'll just be humble. I couldn't have done it without you.
We are a powerful party indeed. Faerun itself trembles at our touch. My darling Isabel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it.
There's still a great deal I don't know about you. Great deal about you I don't know, or how do you intend to spend your newfound freedom? Both good questions, but I want to know more about you.
Pray, ask, and I will tell.
Are you actually literally Selûne's daughter? That's what I wanted to know. How did you come to be trapped in the Shadowfell? You and Isabel seem to have a lot of history. Yeah. Are you really Selûne's daughter?
Do I not radiate with my mother's brightness, her glory? There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb.
Would your mother be willing to aid us in the fight against the Dead Three?
Why, she already has. She has brought her sword to your side, Dame Aelin. So mighty are her wonders, her great wisdom. Together, we will set this fair land free of tyranny and murder.
Okay. So the full might of Selûne that she's willing to offer is one Aasimar. A powerful Aasimar who apparently is immortal, but still one Aasimar. How did you come to be trapped in the Shadowfell?
Ketheric Thorm, father of my one and only love, enslaver of Dame Aelin. Ketheric Thorm never did trust me. even when he worshipped the Moon Maiden. He was threatened by my love for Isabel, by her love for me. When she died, curse the day, the hour, we each of us mourned bitterly. But Ketheric's pain could be touched by no aid, no boundary. He turned to wretched Shah, the Lady of Loss, for relief. And she whispered into his ear, poisoning his mind. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. There, they trapped me in their infernal cage. I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was reborn, for it is my nature. And Ketheric fed upon my immortality all the while. But lo, the brute is dead, and we live!
That answers a question I was wondering. Back when Dark Justiciars went through that whole trial, they had to slay a Selûnite. And I was just like, how are they finding that many Selûnites to capture and take down there, ready for however many Dark Justiciars happen to make it through the trials? But it's not separate Selûnites they were capturing and taking down there. They just all killed Aelin over and over and over again. Which is crazy. Yeah, I can understand your hatred. What about you, Isabel? Anything to say?
I can't believe it. I can't believe Aelin is here. And my father. I heard what happened. What he'd become. By killing him. You set him free. You set Aelin free. And me.
You and Aelin seem to have a lot of history. What happened? I feel there's a great deal you haven't told me. So the same general questions. Aren't you at all sad about your father's fate? Doesn't seem like it. I think she would be more sad if he lived continuing to do horrors around her. You and Aelin seem to have a lot of history. What happened?
A great deal. But still, some of the details elude me. Ketheric Thorm was my father. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight?
Certainly there's magic in a look. I certainly believe you were starstruck at least. No, but it sounds like you do. I would say that yes, there can be love at first sight. The fact that your guys' love has lasted for centuries across different planes and even past death, I think there's more than just you being infatuated. So certainly, there's magic in a look.
That's exactly it. And I tell you, I took one look at her and I just knew. She was it. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... and this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped.
You don't know how you died. Just suddenly it was black. Were you in a fight? Did you get stabbed? Did you die of sickness? Die in your sleep? I don't know. You'd become the chosen of Merkel. Only a monster would rip his own daughter from the grave. That's not necessarily true. Did he shout boo? I guess I am still at the question of, did she want to return? Because we tried everything to bring her back. Presumably he paid lots of different clerics to resurrect her and it failed. That means she didn't want to return, but she has no memory of her time while she was dead. And when you return to life, I think you're supposed to have memories of the afterlife. We've read a book really early on in the game that talked about that, how people pay to come back. And so it's only the wealthy who can come back, and they like to see what's on the other side. So I think she should have memories. It shouldn't just be black. I don't know. Yeah, he'd become the Chosen of Merkel, which is the hideously warped.
I didn't know that then, but I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. Said that Aelin was dead. I couldn't speak. Could only run. I found last light within the shadows. Made a shelter there. Prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors plaguing this land. My home. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them. And myself. No matter what.
But Jaheira did know who you were. At least by the time we came here. When we mentioned that you were Ketheric's daughter, she was super aware. But yeah, understandable. Trying to hide your history makes total sense. No one would trust you if they knew that you were the daughter of Ketheric.
It's all out in the open now. And with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. Except for Aelin. She needs healing. Rest. I'm grateful for your help. Your friendship. I hope we won't intrude on your hospitality too long. But I'm grateful for a safe place to... well... just to be.
Yeah, no problem. Having the immortal daughter of a god watching over our camp is probably helpful.
I never saw myself as a banisher of shadows before. I was always more of a lurker in, historically.
Okay. Nothing new to say for him. We'll hold off on you, Shadowheart. You might have more to say after we talk to them, but we'll see.
Curse is broken and the shadows are lifting. In time, these lands will heal.
I don't think we need to ask her about the tadpole's power. Nothing specifically for her has happened recently. Will, anything further you want to say?
The shadows are lifted. Finally, we can breathe free.
Garlic, anything further from you?
Wish we could stay and see what this place will be like without the shadows. I bet it's beautiful. No rest for the wicked, huh?
Yeah. Tell me more about your relationship with Gortash.
He got his claws into me early. I was a wild kid, brawling my way through the city. One of my mates got wind of a bit of work guarding some indoorsy type with lots of enemies. Seemed like easy money, so I went in for it. He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I like that. Not like that, you know. Just... it felt like a good fit. I kept him safe and he paid me well. Well enough to move into a better neighborhood and put something away for the future. My future. I respected him. Trusted him. And he returned that trust, that respect. His life was in my hands, and I took that seriously. The whole thing with Zauriel happened so fast. I had no idea what had gone down until it was over. One minute I was in Baldur's Gate, a happy, healthy, not quite kid. The next, I was burning up in Avernus with an engine for a heart. Zauriel laughed. Said she paid him well for my services. She'd wanted to test her new machine, and he said I'd be able to handle it. He was right. Sometimes I wish he weren't. Evil, evil bastard.
Yeah. That's... Yeah.
Thaniel rests well. He's healing very rapidly, now that Oliver has returned to him.
Good. Glad I could help. When will the curse actually be lifted? What happened to Oliver exactly? Did Thaniel absorb him? If you have no more requests, I need to take care of my own problems. But now you've got everything you wanted. I'm glad I could help.
I knew I could put my faith in you. If only we had met sooner.
When will the curse actually be lifted?
I can't say for certain, but we'll see it come to pass long before this place recedes behind us. Don't worry. All is at hand. We can depart whenever you're ready.
What exactly happened to Oliver? Did Thaniel absorb him?
No more than my right hand can absorb my left. Oliver is helping Thaniel to recover. They both lie dormant, like trees awaiting spring. Once the curse is lifted, they can stand as one or as a pair. Whatever they wish. I hope they will remain as a pair. It will be good for them both to have a friend, once I'm gone.
It's fair.
I would like to return here someday. See Thaniel and Oliver again. In my meditations, or perhaps in person, if the Oak Father wills it. I hope he does.
What now? You got what you wanted after all.
I have. But perhaps there is more that I want. Anyway, once the curse is lifted, nature can take its course without me. I belong at your side.
I'm glad to have you.
And I'm glad to be had. Glad to be with you, I mean.
Okay. Now over here. Minthara, anything further you want to say?
I, for one, will miss the Shadow Curse. For all the pain it caused us, it did at least obscure the incessant sun.
Yeah. The difficulty of being a drow. You must be glad Ketherick is dead. When did you first encounter the Cult of the Absolute? Curious to hear your thoughts about our companions. Yeah, you must be glad Ketherick is
I
dead.
take no pleasure in his passing. Whatever faults he may have had, Ketherick was a great leader.
You respected him. Any greatness he once had faded long ago. The man we killed was a bitter old fossil. Very true. He was a monster. I mean, particularly at the end, as we just kept beating him and he kept running away. Just talking about, oh, I'm so amazing, you can't possibly beat me, and then we beat him. Yeah. I'm gonna go with 2. Yeah, she respected him, but I think he wasn't what he once was.
Life was crueler to him than death. It is no great wonder that he found his strength in Merkel. I believe he was an honorable man, but the gods used him as their plaything. First, Shah and her sister, then the 3 behind the Absolute. I sympathize.
Yeah. You're surprisingly soft-hearted sometimes. He doesn't deserve sympathy. He was responsible for his own actions. Do you think he could have been redeemed? I think 3 is an interesting question. 1 is an interesting statement. Do you think he could have been redeemed?
A meaningless question.
Yeah.
If he had killed us and conquered the Sword Coast, I would envy him. As it is, he lost, and I pity him. But I will never forgive him for handing me to Orin. For that, I hope Merkel hollows out his bones and lets them be dust.
When did you first encounter the Cult of the Absolute?
A true soul came to my city preaching a message of togetherness, accompanied by 2 novices. Menzoberranzan is not fertile ground for such messages. I killed them and hanged their bodies in my garden.
Decorative corpse, an interesting design choice. They were fools to encroach on Lolth's territory. Very true. Yet they recruited you all the same. We did read a book or a note saying the way they would get the drow is to send messengers down to the drow city until eventually drow came up to the surface to find out who was sending or what was going on with this cult that kept sending people to them. And then once they were up at the surface, they would be ambushed and converted and then sent back down to convert others. So it does sound like that's the plan, and that's how they got her. So not necessarily fools, they just sacrificed a bunch of people they didn't really care about for the long-term goal of gaining some drow. But still, foolish to encroach on Lolth's territory.
I thought so too. This world is full of fools, after all. But in this instance, I was mistaken. Our visitors were not fools. They were bait.
Yep.
Even as the flesh sagged and sloughed away from their eyeless skulls, their audacity infuriated me. I had to know where they came from.
Yep.
And whoever sent them was counting on my curiosity overcoming my caution.
You followed their path back to Moonrise. You know who sent them? You should have captured and interrogated them. No, you followed their path back to Moonrise.
Yes. All it took was a simple act of necromancy, and the corpses told me where I needed to strike. Moonrise Towers.
Yep. Given how we met, it's safe to say you failed. You mustn't have struck very hard. The tower is still standing. You waged war against Moonrise. Yeah, we know how this all played out because it played out exactly as they were hoping it would. You waged war against Moonrise.
No. I was prepared for combat, but I intended to strike subtly. As it turned out, to my shame, I was defeated without even drawing my weapon. I came to Moonrise with a retinue of warriors and assassins, the best House Bainray had to offer. I expected a battle, but found a fully laden feast table and a welcome befitting a house matron. Ketherick expected us, expected me, and I fell for his flattery.
Okay, that was foolish then. Pride can be a great weakness. Understandably gave you the welcome you felt you deserved. Surprised you were so complacent. Yeah. If you're going with the intent to attack, it's odd that you would stop just because you saw a feast.
It is a mistake I hope never to repeat. Ketherick proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table. Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me, slicing the throats out of my men as she passed them.
That's skilled. Because they were high-ranking drow fighters, you said, from a noble family. And she just quickly headed down the table, killing all of them. You should have died fighting. She sounds delightful. Must have been terrifying. I'm curious why you didn't die fighting. Did she just cut through all your men and then just get to you and... Yeah, how did that play out? It must have been terrifying.
Few things frighten me. Orin is one of them. Ketherick held me still. His hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, she touched the dagger to my eye, drawing out a tear of blood. I want this one, she said. Ketherick nodded his permission, and I was taken below. You've seen the horrors of the colony. Orin kept me there for days. She forced me to watch as my men were processed. Some for food, others as thralls. And then she placed the tadpole in my eye, herself.
You were too trusting. Nobody deserves what you went through. You'll have your revenge. 2 and 3. I think just you'll have your revenge.
That is certain. You know the rest as well as I do. There were massacres before the Grove. Religious communities mostly. Those who refused to convert. Then there was you, and now there is freedom. Soon there will be vengeance.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts about our companions.
A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind?
We've asked her about most of our companions. Apparently all of our companions. Alright, Arabella.
I guess I can take care of myself. I mean, I've gotten this far.
You have. Gale, what's the latest?
I think we've done rather a good thing here. A welcome change to give this land a sliver of hope amongst so much despair.
Oh, I missed Thaniel. Ha!
You did it. Ketherick Thorm is no more. The Shadow's grip is broken. Soon, the land shall heal.
Glad I could help. Seems like the sort of feat that might deserve a reward. My work here is done, I think. No, just I'm glad I could help.
Not as glad as I am. Nature moves at its own pace, and bestows its bounty when it sees fit. Give it time. A reward shall come to you when you need it most.
Well, I hope you're right, kid. Alright, let's go back to Shadowheart. Now that we've talked to everyone, including them, and see if she has anything further to say. We're supposed to get
You wanted something?
more information about her history now that they're in our camp. But maybe that's one of the nighttime resting events. Toss down a save. And then end the day. Or maybe it is a nighttime thing, not a daytime thing. No one has exclamation marks that they want to talk. Ah, Aelin does. Perfect.
What do you know about me? You spoke of my past. Being chased by wolves. I told no one about that.
You told me.
Almost no one. But I certainly didn't share that with you.
There is nothing I can tell you that you do not already know yourself. They trained you well, trained you hard. Chiseled away any part of you that did not fit their plan. They made you forget.
I chose to do that. For the mission to protect Shaz.
Secrets. Yes, yes, that is an old song, girl. Your goddess cares more for her precious secrets than she does her devotees.
Get to the point.
When you freed me, you severed a bond between me and that dog, Thorm. A bond of pain. His, inflicted on me. When I laid eyes on you, I sensed a similar bond. You, tethered to 2 others. Someplace distant. Let me help you remember.
You feel Shadowheart's mind tug at the edges of your own. You know this sensation. She wants you to see whatever is about to be revealed.
Open your mind to that sensation. Yeah, we definitely want to see what's going to be revealed. Last time, we sort of forced our way into Shadowheart's mind while she was praying to Shar. And she was quite unhappy, understandably. It's interesting that this time she's intentionally trying to get us to see what she's about to see. Yeah, open our mind to the sensation.
Your mind joins with Shadowheart's. Something pulls at you both, bringing you elsewhere.
Okay, it's the same memory. The wolf was a person. Werewolf or druid?
Something sparks in your memory. Teachings about Selûnite rites of passage, about how they would abandon their children out in the wilds and force them to find their way home.
Correct.
It seems that one child never came back. She was taken.
What? Who was that man?
You already know. Did you not see yourself in him? Do you not recognize your own blood?
My father. That was him.
That is him. He lives still. And your mother, too.
No. It can't be. I'm an orphan.
And who told you that? Your adoptive family? You are not to blame. You were young, impressionable. They took you because they wanted to break and remake you. But you are a child no longer. You are a woman, one who knows what must be done.
My parents. I need to save them.
Yeah. When we saw that vision the first time, there were hints that she was a Selûnite at the time, and I was suspecting that the wolf that they supposedly protected her from was actually an ally that was trying to protect her from the Dark Justiciars. So it seems that that was correct, but the wolf was actually her father. I'll help. Perhaps this isn't a good idea. We've got other concerns. Does this mean you're a Selûnite? I mean, definitely I want to just say I'll help. But I'm also curious to see how she would respond to, does this mean you're a Selûnite?
I don't know.
Your parents both followed the Moon Maiden. I could sense their faith, even in a brief glimpse of the past.
It is a tragedy that the Moon Maiden's right was perverted by Shah. Your future was stolen from you.
Alright. Well, I will definitely help you get your parents back.
Your parents are with your abductors. You will need to return to their lair. But be warned. You may have once thought of them as comrades, mentors, friends, even lovers. They will all be enemies now. You have been forewarned for what is to come, but not yet forearmed.
The Spear of Night, I thought that was cast into the Shadowfell. Careful, isn't that thing supposed to be able to kill you? Observe silently. I mean, both are good questions. I mean, obviously, if she wanted it, magic, etc., there's ways she could get it back. I think the bigger question is, how does it help us now? Because the only thing it was supposed to be able to do is kill her. So why do we need it now? Isn't that thing supposed to be able to kill you?
It no longer has the power to harm me, now that I've removed it from Shah's domain. Shah is quick to discard whatever she has no use for. I think you know that well enough. But I felt it call to me as I took flight. Whatever Shah calls her own, Selûna has equal claim to. They are one and the same. Their power is matched and mirrored. Take it You'll find it useful. What you do with it, that will be up to you. Same as before.
I'll need every advantage, it seems. Thank you.
A debt repaid. You returned my life unto me. Now go and claim your own.
It hurts.
Shah torments you still. What a spiteful creature she is. This will not stop until you take action. See that your parents' sacrifices are not in vain. Allow the Moon Maiden to guide you at last.
So presumably we have to go to Baldur's Gate. Because I think that's where her temple, or yeah, Shar worship was actually in Baldur's Gate. So we knew we were going there anyway, but now we know that's where that story continues. I thought there was a book or something here. Something highlighted as I hovered. Oh, I picked up an incense. Sure. Alright, so this spear we just gained, what's your deal? Or did it go to... Probably went to Shadowheart. Saloon Spear of Night. Yeah. Okay, that is far more interesting. I didn't even get to see the whole thing, but... The Spear of Night that Shar had was, I think, basically just an ordinary spear. This one, you gain advantage on wisdom saving throws and perception checks. Nice. You can see in the dark up to 40 feet. It's a +3 weapon. Dude. Cast Moonbeam, which isn't that amazing. At least, historically, it's never seemed to be that amazing to me. Because it's just an incredibly tiny area. Although, if it burns any enemy that moves through the beam, and you can move it as an action 60 feet, presumably you could put it down and then move it all over the battlefield pretty far and hit quite a few enemies. Maybe that's the power of it, and it's not just that its area is tiny. You gain a new class action. Illuminate the area around you with wisps of moonlight that make movement difficult for enemies and bolster your allies' damage. At the start of their turn, each hostile creature within the light must succeed a wisdom saving throw, or they must treat the lighted area as difficult terrain. Each ally within the light deals an additional 1 to 4 radiant damage on a hit with melee attacks. Very cool. Rush attack and maiming strike. One of the goddess Seluna's titles, Moon Maiden, has often been debated among the ecclesiastical. Common symbology certainly rejects the assumption of virginity. More to the point, maiden itself carries some dusty connotations. How about the Lunar Lady? Keeps the alliteration too. Marjorie Henderplum. Okay. It's a fair statement. Is this better for you? I guess let's click on you. I'm assuming this is going to be better than the Blood of Lathander. It's going to be a 1d6 plus 5 because we're going to keep the shield. So it's the same damage. The Blood of Lathander automatically heals you. Sheds holy light in a 20-foot radius. Fiends and undead standing in the light are blinded. That's okay. I've been wondering what causes some creatures to be blinded and not others. It's specifically only fiends and undead. Cool. And then Sunbeam, which I don't use as often as I should. Probably going to use that spear instead. I could give someone else the Blood of Lathander if we have someone else who uses one-handed weapons. Minthara would be a choice.
Never a dull moment.
I guess, who do we want in our party at this point? when we head back out. Probably going to go for Astarion again, because he's really good, and we desperately needed him in that last fight.
Always makes my day better.
So, it's a quest to free Shadowheart's parents,
Ooh,
is it?
new dialogue about that.
Here I was, worried I'd be the only one with a difficult family reunion waiting in the city.
Ha! I need you in my party. Will you travel with us?
Darling, I thought you'd never ask. Lead on.
Ooh, level up for him. Cool. I think Lae'zel or Karlach. I think at the moment Karlach is more involved in this story. So we'll have her replace
Poor Shadowheart.
Minthara.
She's been jerked around so much. I want to believe the gods keep this world balanced, but sometimes I wonder.
Come on, we're heading out.
Looks like your troops all trooped up. You'll need to send someone packing if you want me to join.
Yeah, you can take Minthara's spot.
Excellent. Let's go.
Level up for you. Possibly a couple of level ups. Well, everyone might have dialogue about that, so I think we'll do the rounds again. Probably not you two, but maybe.
Looking forward to a bit of rest, if I'm honest. It's been a long century.
Be gone, friend. I have a darling to adore.
How do you intend to spend your newfound freedom? You should join my camp permanently. We can fight the power of evil together. I have questions for you. How do you intend to spend your newfound freedom?
Free from my bonds, but not my duty. The dead 3 are risen. The dead 2 remain.
Yeah.
You must face them. I will help.
You should join my camp permanently. We can fight the powers of evil together.
Our thoughts are as one, my friend. You must face the chosen of Bane and Baal. I will do my part to see them laid low.
Does she become a party member? I have questions for you.
Pray, ask, and I will tell.
Would you... No, we've already asked that. So... we didn't get the option to ask her to join our party or head out with us.
Sight for sore eyes.
So I'm guessing we can't get her as part of our party. Let's see. I want to talk about all that's happened to us. Are you ready to talk now? Seems so. How am I holding up in your estimations?
No notes. You've exceeded my every expectation. Considering all we've been through, I think I was very lucky to find such favorable company. And attractive company too, no less.
Turn to other matters. I guess let's talk about a relationship.
Of course.
May I have a kiss? How are you? How are you faring? Admit it, you've never had a relationship quite like this one. I want to end things between us. How are you?
Relieved, terrified, sick to my stomach. I can't keep my feelings straight ever since I spared Nightsong, defied Shah. I don't know what comes next. But at least I have you by my side.
We should journey separately. No. Okay.
Shadowheart was no true child of Shah, merely a captive. She must have her vengeance.
Similar to what happened with you and Vlaakith. You were a pawn of a god.
Taken from the light to be raised in darkness. The truth is finally dawning. Shadowheart can follow its light, or she can retreat back into dusk.
No. There's no retreating back into dusk.
Hey, soldier.
I swear, I can already feel a change in the air. Like the curse itself knows its time is short.
Okay, nothing from you guys. Probably nothing from Minthara either, because she's not a full party member.
It does not surprise me
Oh.
that Shadowheart's faith
I
was
stand
based
corrected.
on a lie. Deception is the sum of Shah's design.
And Gale?
At least Shadowheart is armed with the truth now. May its keen edge draw forth whatever vengeance she desires.
Let's do a quick level up for our 2 party members and then actually rest for the night. We'll be ready to head out. Probably with the next episode. Alright, you get a new feat. We could level up your dex. Dual wielder doesn't really help you because that's specifically just allowing you to use weapons that aren't light, which I don't particularly care about. Wish I could sort by things that give a dex bonus. Athlete gives strength or dex. When you're prone, standing up significantly less movement, your jump distance also increases. Not super impressed by. You make crossbow attack rolls within melee range. Attack rolls do not have disadvantage. Your piercing shot also inflicts gaping wounds. No. When attacked while wielding a finesse weapon you're proficient with, you can use a reaction to add your proficiency bonus to your AC, possibly causing the attack to miss. That's not bad. Doesn't give him the dex bonus that I was wanting, but... Why does he get a feat at level 10? Isn't it 4th, 8th, and 12th? I don't know. But yeah, his AC is always a little low. I'm giving him once per turn the ability to add his proficiency bonus, which I think is level... It's +3, maybe +4 at this point. To his AC. It's pretty good. I'm assuming his daggers count as a finesse weapon. Dungeon Delver, no. Durable, no. This gives him a... No, that's just light arm proficiency. I thought that was giving him a +1 to his AC and a +1 to dex, which would be nice, but no. Just misreading it. Mage Slayer. He does have the possibility of the dagger that silences, which is even better for slaying mages. Mobile is super good. No, nothing's really calling out to me. Defensive Duelist is probably pretty good. Or I could do ability improvement, specifically for dex and either intelligence or wisdom. Probably wisdom. Because a lot of spells target whiz, and boosting his saving throw there, at least a little bit, sounds pretty good. +4 proficiency. Really? Didn't realize your proficiency was that... Well, yeah. So is a +1 dex better than getting a +4 to his AC once per turn? I think for him, I actually prefer the Defensive Duelist, just to help him survive better, because he takes hits too much, and a +4 AC is no joke. A situational +4 AC. Oh wow, you are still level 8. Okay. While raging, you can use Unrelenting Ferocity and have resistance to all damage. I still think that's good. Movement increase, jump distance increase. Allies have advantage on melee attack rolls. No, I'm going to go with the bear heart. I still think bear is a good call. Take half damage while raging. You don't have boots. I need to get you boots. You'll keep your bestial heart. And then a new animal aspect. Your carrying capacity is doubled and you have advantage on strength checks. Meh. Resistance to falling damage and throwing camp supplies blinds targets. That's random. Movement speed increases while standing on water-based surfaces. No. Slippery surfaces, you also have advantage on saving throws against being knocked prone. No. See in the dark. Advantage on perception checks. Do you already have dark vision? I don't think you do. So that wouldn't be the worst. You can use Aspect of the Elk, giving yourself and nearby allies only +5. I mean, more movement speed is always good. Oh, it's 60 feet is the range. So, until long rest, you and all allies within 60 feet of you just get slightly more movement speed. +5 isn't great, but movement speed is very powerful. Poison, Fright, and Charmed. At the start of your turn, you have 50% chance to begin raging without expending a rage charge. So just extra rages per day. Dashing grants you temporary hit points. You added an additional strength modifier to attack rolls against bleeding or poisoned targets. Gain proficiency in its survival. I don't know how often enemies are bleeding or poisoned. Proficiency in stealth and can use Aspect of the Wolf. You and nearby allies add your dexterity modifier as a bonus to stealth checks. No. When you attack a bleeding or poisoned target, maim it for 1 turn. Again, we don't bleed or poison very often. So I think Elk for the movement speed is probably the best. Eagle could also be good. Because disadvantage because of darkness, we've seen it a few times, not often, but it is annoying. I'm going to actually go with Elk. 5 feet isn't great, but it's something. Alright, let's finally camp for the night. Toss down another save. Just in case. I like to save before resting for the night in case something goes wrong. It's a good time to save. Auto-select random camp supplies. 80, not 81. Always good. Do we get a nighttime event? No, but Shadowheart wants to talk again. Hi. Alright. No one else? Alright, Shadowheart. What's new?
I've been lied to. My whole life. And I was gullible enough to just believe it. My parents are alive, and I have to save them. I think a part of me always knew that. A part that Shah denied to me.
Whatever you must do, I will be by your side. Dare I suggest Shar may have had her reasons? No. You've been forced to live a lie. At least now the truth is starting to reveal itself. You have a lot on your mind, but we have to stay focused. The Absolute is still a threat. No, whatever you must do, I will be by your side.
Thank you. But I want you to refrain from foolish heroics. When the time comes, we'll be entering a nest of vipers. I couldn't bear to lose you. Not after everything. We'd better press on for now, and hope we're ready when the moment comes. But before that, there's one thing I need to see to.
And what's that? Do whatever you need to do. Should I be concerned? What's that?
You'll see for yourself soon enough. Just leave it with me.
Okay. Then I guess we leave. Starin, you were sort of weaking out for a moment there. Like glowing weird.
My favorite traveling companion.
Nothing? Okay. Also, what's this shimmering that's following us? Yeah, now we have a weird effect. Hungover. Why are a few of us hungover? Did we have a party that I don't recall? You tell yourself I'm never drinking again. You're a liar. I guess we had a party that I was too drunk to remember. Come on, go away. There we go. Alright, I'm going to end the episode here. Between episodes, we will have Gale give us all Longstrider, and next time we'll pick up here with whatever comes next. But I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Bye.